It's 11:47 p.m. The house finally settles. You're lying on your side of the bed. Your partner breathes 3 feet away. You watch the ceiling. The quiet feels heavy. You replay the evening, the polite conversation, the way they turned away, the silence after good night. Why do I feel so lonely right now? Is this just what long-term love becomes? Am I asking for too much? Or am I the problem? The relationship didn't collapse because your love faded. It got heavy because your shared nervous system stopped feeling safe. You're not failing at love. This isn't a sign you chose wrong. Every couple that has ever loved deeply stands exactly where you are. By the end of this video, you will understand the exact hidden patterns in avoidant runs when the room goes dark, and how to turn that quiet longing back into real connection. Let's get into it. Here's the part most couples completely miss. Most couples believe an avoidant partner only misses you when they finally say it out loud. But the real truth is something far softer. When safety leaves a relationship, the love doesn't disappear. It goes completely underground. Your partner's nervous system reads your presence long before their conscious mind catches up. What looks like cold distance is actually a protective retreat. Their attachment wiring learned early that closeness equals exposure. So when the lights dim, the armor finally drops. You aren't witnessing indifference. You are watching a nervous system process longing without triggering its own alarm. Trying to force them open only makes them withdraw further. The anxious avoidance cycle isn't fundamental incompatibility. It is two people who want the exact same thing, just speaking different emotional languages. And here's what changes everything. Once you see the hidden nighttime patterns they run on autopilot, you stop taking the silence personally. You start reading the blueprint instead. Here's the part no one talks about. Most couples assume late-night phone use means boredom or distraction. But beneath the surface, it's actually a nervous system regulation tool. When the day's demands fade, the avoidant brain defaults to low-stimulus input to quiet the emotional static. They aren't ignoring you. They're buffering their own intensity. Watch how this plays out. The disconnecting version sounds like this. They stay locked on the screen. You reach out. You ask them to put it away. They pull back instantly. The connecting version flips the script. You notice the glow. You don't demand attention. You simply leave the space open. I know today was heavy. I'm right here when you're ready to land. The phone goes face down, and when you do that, the walls between you start to come down without either of you having to say a word. This is where it gets really interesting. Most couples read a slow nighttime text as proof of fading interest. But the truth runs much deeper than that. An avoidance attachment system needs time to cross the bridge back to vulnerability. They draft, delete, and rewrite in their head. They want to respond. They're just waiting until they don't feel completely exposed. See the pattern in action. The disconnecting version looks like this. You send goodnight. The bubbles appear. They vanish. You fire back a defensive question. Their system registers a threat. They lock up completely. The connecting version shifts the gravity. You leave the thread breathing. You trust their rhythm. You don't chase the ghost. She doesn't need me to perform. I can just be. That's when your partner stops feeling like a problem to manage and starts feeling like a person to come home to. And this is the one most couples never figure out. Most couples think avoidance lives strictly in the present moment. But at night,
their mind quietly becomes an emotional archive. They replay the last 90 days of your relationship. They zoom in on the small moments they never verbally honored. They aren't stuck in the past. They're trying to map the emotional pattern. Notice the contrast. The disconnecting version asks bluntly. You ask what they're thinking. They say nothing. The room gets colder. The connecting version leans gently. You share a specific, grounded memory first. I was just thinking about how you laughed at the coffee shop last Tuesday. Their internal dial shifts. He actually remembers the small things. Not louder conversations, not more compromising, not scheduling rigid check-ins, but two people who actually feel safe enough to be vulnerable for the first time in years. Here's where it gets really subtle. Most couples completely overlook this digital breadcrumb trail. Most people in relationships expect direct communication at all costs. But the avoidant nervous system tests the water before diving in. They like a story. They play your old playlist. They comment on a mutual friend's photo. It's not avoidance. It's a bridge. They want closeness. They just fear direct exposure. Watch the shift. The disconnecting version reacts with hurt.
You notice the engagement. You feel invisible. You pull away completely. The connecting version reads the signal. You don't confront it. You create a low-pressure opening the next morning. I saw that hiking clip. We should go this weekend. They exhale slowly. I don't have to prove myself. I can just show up. That's the shift that turns a relationship that feels like a negotiation into one that feels like a refuge. This is where it gets really physical. Most couples assume nighttime distance equals emotional rejection, but the avoidant nervous system experiences tactile memory when the guard finally lowers. They miss the weight of your head on their chest. They miss how the sheets settle when you both sleep inward. They aren't pushing you away. They're overwhelmed by how much it actually matters. See the divergence. The disconnecting version forces contact. You reach for their hand. They tense up. You feel completely rejected. The connecting version honors the space. You leave warmth on their side. You don't initiate. You just create safety. Her nervous system reads it clearly. She wants me close, but she won't force it. Honestly, presence isn't built in grand gestures. It's built in the 30-second choices, when you decide to let them come to you. Here's the part no one ever sees. Most couples never realize how much gets typed and deleted after midnight. An avoidant will write out everything they feel, every fear, every apology, every quiet wish. Then they erase it. It isn't dishonesty. It's deep self-protection. They believe their raw words will push you away, so they swallow them instead. Notice the difference. The disconnecting version demands clarity. You push for answers now. They shut down entirely. The connecting version names the dynamic. You don't need it perfect. I'd rather hear the messy version than guess. The internal shift happens. His mind stops editing. I can actually be honest and still be loved. And here's what changes everything. You stop waiting for flawless communication and start rewarding brave communication instead. This is the final, quiet piece. Most couples pathologize the late-night routine entirely. The tea, the long walk, the journal, the playlist. They call it distancing. It's actually nervous system regulation. The avoidance system is downshifting from survival back to connection. They can't reach for you until they reach for themselves first. Watch the pattern unfold. The disconnecting version interrupts. You need reassurance immediately. They feel cornered. They retreat. The connecting version honors the pause. You say, "Take your time. I'll be right here when you're done." You step back. You trust the rhythm. What's moving through her is, "He gave me room, and I chose to come back to him." This isn't a communication hack. It's just what two emotionally mature people naturally do when they stop fighting each other and start tending to the space between. This isn't a checklist for managing your partner's behavior. It's an invitation to become the steady ground they've been quietly looking for. When you internalize this, you stop reacting to the drift and start responding to the longing. Your nervous system stops bracing. Theirs finally gets permission to soften. These aren't tricks for avoiding conflict. They are the foundation of becoming the kind of partner you always wanted someone to be for you. Real intimacy doesn't start when you find the right person. It starts when you decide to become the safe place where both of you can finally stop running. If this shifted something in you, hit subscribe. We're building a space for honest conversations about love, attachment, and turning toward each other on purpose. I'll see you in the next one.